Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show. I'm here to talk about number 2 Houston beating number 11 Baylor 82-76 in overtime. Whew, what a thrill of a game here. I think it's time we have to admit Houston's just that good of a team. They're not a fraud team. Yeah, they had a few tough losses where they'd lost back-to-back, but ever since then, they've just been dominant. And a good road win at Baylor. This game was really a tale of two halves. Houston just outplayed Baylor in the first half. They took the crowd out of it early in the game and took a 16-point lead at halftime. They even went on like an 8 or 11-0 run at one point. But Baylor battled back in the second half. I thought in the first half, they're not going to be able to come back, but Baylor's defense tightened up in the second half, and they were able to make shots. But ultimately, it just wasn't enough. And they shot really well from 3. 10 of 25 from 3, 40%, was really able to get back into the game. Their defense also was able to get back to the game somewhat. The first half, their defense played bad, but in the second half, their defense played a lot better. Just a big missed free throw there at the end. Where Houston originally I thought hit the buzzer beater, but the ball was still in his hands. If he got off with .1 left, it would have been the win. But when it hit 0.0, but bucket didn't count. But this was such a good back and forth game here. Good Big 12 battle, best conference in college basketball. Houston outplayed Baylor in the first half. Baylor outplayed Houston in the second half, and Houston just outplayed them there in overtime. I felt Baylor wasted all their energy in the second half, coming back from 16 points down. But Houston's such a good team, man. They clutched up when they needed to in overtime. And they're now 2-0 in overtime games. All road games are like street fights. And this is a huge win against a good Baylor team. But Jamal Sheed should definitely be in National Defensive Year conversation. He does the little things, like his shot was off in this game. At one point, he missed like 8 straight shots. But you gotta admit, he affected the game in other ways. Like his defense is suffocating because he gets down in the stance. Like there was one play with like 3 minutes and 40-something seconds to go in the second half where he kind of cut off Ray-J Dennis from getting the edge, bodies up, keeps his hands active. That's what he does. And that's a big win on the road. Sampson is the best coach in the league. At least in my opinion. Massive win. Jamal Sheed, he missed like 8 straight shots at one point in the second half. He had 12 points. He went cold in the second half, but he had 10 assists. Played some good defense. So even when he's not scoring, he can affect the game in those ways with his passing and his defense. Juwan Roberts, 17 points, 8 rebounds. He had 4 assists. Also had 6 steals. Juwan Roberts was really active defensively. LJ Cryer, 15 points. So, he used to play for Baylor. And he gets the win against his former team, gets the last laugh. Emmanuel Sharp, 18 points, was actually their leading scorer. 5 of 12 from the floor, but made all 6 of his free throws. And Ray-J Dennis didn't have too good of a game, I thought. He had 21 points. He scored the ball well with 21 points. 5 assists, but had 8 turnovers. Too many turnovers from Baylor with 19 turnovers. I know it's just hard to beat a team giving up 19 turning the ball over 19 times. That's really the difference. They turn the ball over just too much. But Houston's defense in overtime really on this win. Ray-J Dennis, though, 8 turnovers. Tugler, 6 points, 3 rebounds off the bench. Wilson and Dunn each had 3 points. Really good team effort. Baylor's a team shot 43 from the field, 40 from the 3-point line, and 81% from the line. Houston shot better from the field, 47%. Didn't shoot as well from threes, 28%, but shot better from the line, 85%. I mean, Baylor had rebounding by 8, had 2 more offensive boards, 6 more defensive boards, but it was really the turnovers that cost Baylor. And that big deficit in the first half really did them in. Like, I know they got played in the second half, but if they played a much better first half, they could have won this basketball game. And they just got out playing overtime. I felt they just used all their energy up and just their legs got tired there. So, tough loss for Baylor. Houston's just the best team in this league. Heck of a second half. But they still had a chance, but you can't be Houston with 19 turnovers. Ray J had 8. They just got to tighten up some mental mistakes. Like I said, they just got to tighten up on some mental mistakes. As for Baylor, Jalen Bridges, 17 points, 13 rebounds, Nunn, 11 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Kobe Walters, 23 points. They had a lot of guys had to play like 40-something minutes. So I just think some of their players just legs got a little bit tired. But Jacoby Walter was good, 23 points. But they just didn't really have much from their bench because they were missing a few of their players that normally provide some impact off the bench. But really, turnovers did them in, cost them this game. But so yeah, that's all to say here. So until next time, Peace.